in the state of Oaxaca and we're here to eat.
This Oaxaca series is all about sharing with you some of this amazing state's delicious food.
Every week, the town of Ocotlan hosts one of the biggest traditional markets in Oaxaca state. This place is a feast for the senses. This is our second video from Oaxaca, and we're taking you into the heart of the market to discover some traditional and delicious Oaxacan foods. In this massive Mexico series, we'll show you some of the country's best food, from Mexican street food to heritage recipes. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
We are so excited to be filming a massive series here in the state of Oaxaca. Oaxaca is regarded as one of the gastronomic hearts of Mexico, and this video is going to be set at OCOTLAN Market. Now, every Friday in the town of Ocotlan, there is a huge traditional market. People come from all around the surrounding villages and towns. They come in to trade, they come in to shop, they come in to eat, to catch up with their neighbours. And this place is a riot of colour and produce and food and live animals. It's a really, really exciting place. We're here to eat, of course, and have a wander around and show you how spectacular this traditional market is.
This is such a full-on market. We were here 2.5 years ago and it's so good to be back so we can film it and show you guys. So it's outside of Oaxaca City. We caught a bus here. It took about an hour, just over an hour. So a very easy bus ride. This place is amazing. So it's only on Fridays. It takes over all the streets in the center of Ocotlan. So it's over a number of blocks. It's a bit of a maze to get around. There's different sections. It's a super exciting place and there's some really good food we want to show you.
I've spotted one of our things on our hit list of things to eat, and that is an empanada. So let's go and grab one. Hola, buenos dias.
Hola, buenos dias.
Is this mole de amarillo? Sí? Una empanada, por favor. So these are the empanada cooking here on the comal, this shallow pan really. So the empanada in Oaxaca is basically a big tortilla that's filled with filling and then folded in half. Not like the empanada that we're used to, the deep fried pastry pockets. We've eaten this before and it is very good. It is stuffed full of mole, a yellow mole called amarillo mole. I really love watching the empanadas getting made. So the tortilla is being pressed to order. It's a beautiful yellow color, very vivid, and it's about this big, so quite big. It gets put on the comal, which is the pan, and then a ladle of the yellow mole gets put on top, some pieces of shredded chicken, and then it just gets folded in half and then slowly cooked on that griddle pan. Now, mole is one of those iconic dishes of Oaxaca. It's essentially a sauce which is made up of a number of ingredients, up to sometimes 40 ingredients. This yellow mole, it gets its color from a yellow chili, and it's got all sorts of things in it, like garlic and tomatoes and tomatillos, and you can see the chunks of chicken in there, and then I think this might be coriander. Senora, is this cilantro? Sí? And hoja santa? No, just cilantro. Ah, sí, gracias. So this is just cilantro, so the coriander in there. This is going to taste real good, I reckon. What I might do is just chuck some lime on there. And then some of the fresh onion. Mmm. 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 The yellow mole is quite subtle in flavour, so it's not spicy at all. It's just got a beautiful, rich flavour. You can really taste that chicken, it's very strong. And then the bursts of cilantro are really, really good. Mmm. Mmm. I love the tortilla. It's got a really strong corn flavour. It's very earthy, and it's a little bit crispy as well from being on that camal.
It really is an amazing market to walk around. There is so much going on. So we're in the sort of the fruit and veg section at the moment, and it is chaos in here. Brilliant chaos. There's so much good fruit and veg to see. There's all this amazing, oh sorry, disculpe, all this meat over here hanging and meat being cooked. So you've got beautiful smell of that in the air. It's an unreal place to explore.
A number of stalls which are selling barbacoa, so it's sort of like barbacoa alley. Barbacoa is usually a sheep or lamb or goat. Barbacoa de chivo. See. Okay, so it's goat at this stall, and she's chopping it up. It looks so moist and tender. I think we've got to order some. Oh, gracias. So this lady's given me a little sample to try. Look at that silky fat, the meat. Oh my goodness.
Esta es la barbacoa mexicana. Esta es la
Muy
mexicana.
rico.
Sí.
It is incredible. Melts in your mouth. It's got a great savory taste, and it's really well seasoned. We've definitely got to order some. Muchas gracias. So this lady has popped by with a bunch of tortillas. So we've got a stack of tortillas. I got 5 or 4, I think. So that's 5 pesos. Muchas gracias. We put in our order of barbacoa, and when it arrived we realized that we needed to double it. So we've got 2 plates of barbacoa, and then we've got some consomme here, so which is a broth which is filled with bits of goat meat, and then there's also a ton of vegetables in there. I can see some carrots, some beans, some chayote, and then we've got agua de Jamaica, which is an agua fresca, so a fruit water. This is the hibiscus water, and then we've got our stack of tortillas.
This meat looks incredible. It was so neat watching it getting cut up. So it's very, very soft. She had a neat little axe sort of device which she was using to crack through the bones, and the meat just falls apart. So the barbacoa is quite a special meal, quite hard to prepare. It's cooked in a big pit, covered in maguey leaves, and takes a long time to cook. So very, very slowly roasted, and that explains why it's just so soft and tender. I mean, look at this piece of meat. I'll just put 2 forks on there, and I'm not doing anything really there. That is just breaking apart with absolute ease. So we've ordered the portions of the meat, so that's goat meat, and then we've ordered this, which we think is a blood cake. We're not actually 100% sure what it is, but it looks very much like a blood cake with things cooked down in it. So you can see some onion there. I think there's some chili in there. And how this meal works is you get an array of things on the table to go with it all. So we have a salsa verde, which should be nice and fiery. You can see it nice and runny. Got a whole lot of vegetables and chilies here, some cabbage and some limes. Of course, in Mexico, there's always going to be limes on the table. So really, it's about grabbing your tortilla and making up what you want to eat. So I want a bit of everything, so that's what I plan to do. So let's get a nice big chunk of the meat. We'll get some of this sort of blood cake on there. I'll get a nice big whack of that, because I think that will be nice and creamy, that cake. And then it's all about the extras. So we'll get a bit of the salsa verde. Pile that on top. And this plate of vegetables. So we've got a whole lot to choose from. Definitely some coriander. Sprinkle some coriander on. Bloomin' missed with most of that, but it's all right. We'll get some cabbage on there. Some little bits of the cut chili, so just little cubes of chili. Who knows how spicy they're going to be. You never quite know here in Mexico with the salsas and the chilies. Sometimes they're just nice and sweet and tangy. Other times they absolutely kick you in the back of the head. So we'll see what happens. Wrap that up into a lovely little morsel. Oh. That meat, so soft. It's so full of flavor, nice and rich. Beautiful. The chilies, although I think it was actually the salsa verde, is spicy. It's really got me in the throat. A little bit hiccupy. Nothing wrong with that. Really good. And I like the crunch of the cabbage on there. Just gives it a little bit of crunch when you've got this super soft meat. And the tortilla in this instance isn't too flavoursome, which is good because you want that flavour of the meat to come through. I couldn't really taste this this blood cake amongst everything, although it's got a bit of fat in there as well. I feel like it might be some sort of blood cake that's wrapped in something or mixed with something. Yum. Really creamy, a little bit spicy. It's got a real herb flavour. That is beautiful. And I'm loving the surrounds that we're sitting in. So you can see that we're sort of in amongst the market. So all the fruit and veg is just down over there. But in little pockets within the market, there's little food sections. And this is one of those food sections, but there's still things being sold all around here. I can see a whole lot of grasshoppers for sale over here. There's a whole lot of cakes beside us, a fruit and veg stall right there. So we're still absolutely surrounded by the goings on of the market. So there's a lot to look at, a lot to take in, and the food is very good.
We're just cutting through this main market hall. There's an area where there are permanent fondas or small family-run restaurants where you can grab a bite to eat, but we're going to find some more street food. This next stop is one that I am so excited to share with you guys. Ever since we knew we were coming back to Oaxaca, this is the place that I wanted to film at. It's a nieves spot, and nieves is hand-churned water-based ice cream, and Oaxaca has a really famous flavor combination which we have to show you, and it's so delicious. We're in the nieves area. There's a whole bunch of different stands doing this hand-churned water-based ice cream. We're going to grab a nieves from this spot here. Hola, buenas tardes. Una leche quemada con tuna, por favor. So the nieves is hand churned in these devices called garrafas, and you've got ice and salt in there, and they mix it and scrape it, mix it and scrape it, and it has a really, really interesting consistency. So we've ordered the Oaxacan specialty. This is tuna, which is prickly pear, and it goes with leche quemada, which is burnt milk, this creamy one. Muchas gracias. Oh, I'm so excited to get into this. Look at how beautiful that tuna is. It's a bright red, and then that burnt milk on the bottom. Let's go and eat. I've been dreaming about this flavor combination for 2 years. I'm beyond excited to be back here eating this. So this is a famous Oaxacan nieves combination. This here on the top, the red one, is the tuna, which is prickly pear cactus. And then the white one is leche quemada, which is burnt milk. So I'm just going to get a spoonful with both of those nieves flavors on there. Oh, holy moly. This is exactly like how I remembered it. The tuna is very sweet. It's got quite a floral flavor. And then the leche quemada is like nothing else. It is smoky, it's intense, it's got a real depth of flavor, it's savory. It's honestly, it's so smoky. It tastes like charcoal, but it works perfectly with the tuna because it balances it out. This is such an amazing combination. And this is such a neat atmosphere. We're sitting right smack bang in the middle of the market. We're surrounded by everyone tucking into their nieves. It's a really neat atmosphere. I think what also adds to the specialness, I suppose, of Ocotlan is that it's got a really high indigenous culture. Like the presence of the indigenous people is really strongly felt here. There are lots of women in indigenous dress. All their hair is done beautifully with ribbons tied through their hair. It's a really, really special place.
Something that I really like about this market is it truly feels like a community coming together. So this is a small town, it's a small country town. So you've got all these people coming from, that live out in the country, coming together just on a Friday to sell their wares, restock stock for the week. So there is a lot going on, which is really neat. It's got a real sort of community feel to it. It's a really nice place. We've actually just walked into the live bird section, which is a pretty intriguing place to be.
We thought we'd do some fruit and vegetable shopping while we're here, and I spotted some really lovely looking papayas, so we're going to grab one of those. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
This is one spectacular market. Now, definitely there's not as much food prepared to eat here as some other markets around the world, but it's not all about that. It is just the most incredible place to explore. So the food we did have, really high quality.
It was really, really good.
So good.
Especially the nieves. Ocotlan is famous for its nieves, and those nieves flavors tasted just 10,000 times better than the ones in Oaxaca City, to be honest, right?
And it was much cheaper than the stuff you get in the city. And the fruit and veg we bought was much cheaper than in the city. So an incredible market, a place we love the food, and that nieves.
Oh,
Heaven, what a day.